Well, might as well start recording now because it is a 48-point game with about 4.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, as the Timberwolves will play a Game 7 in Denver on Sunday. What a dominant performance from this team. What a response from the Timberwolves. After basically me, a bunch of people, with the way Denver was looking, with the way they looked like they recaptured that magic the last three games, I thought this was going to be over. I thought the Timberwolves were going to get eliminated tonight, but they really responded, especially after the Nuggets got out to that 9-2 lead. It looked like the Wolves were a little tight to open the game. They were missing some shots, and the Nuggets, after the T-Wolves went up 2-0, the Nuggets put up, a 9-2 lead. Then all of a sudden, a 27-2 run. And in this fourth quarter, by the way, with the bench unit playing, there was a 24-0 run. Just utter dominance top down from the Timberwolves. Few things. One, I think we underestimated once again, and I can't believe I'm doing this because Mike Conley has always been one of my favorite players. Shout out Lefty Gang. But his return tonight was huge for the Timberwolves. Just that stabilizer, a guy that just evens out the team, and also a guy that, playing off of Ant, Cat, and Gobert, Conley can kind of attack the creases a little bit, get into his floater, get into his pull-up three, which was working tonight too. I mean, Conley was he was a big welcome addition back. And the Timberwolves were making their threes tonight. That was the other thing. Jaden McDaniels struggling the last couple of games, and he was awesome tonight. 21 points, 8 of 10 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3, and he was making those corner threes after really just having an abysmal series shooting-wise. Karl Anthony Towns, even though he had 3 fouls, he did not get in foul trouble all that much, and the Timberwolves went back to having Gobert roam off of Gordon and putting Cat on Jokic, and the Timberwolves were straight up doubling every time Jokic got the ball. And I also thought it was a little weird that the Nuggets went away from, having Jokic and Gordon bring the ball up more often. And they went back to having Jamal Murray bring the ball up more, which, if you're looking at the first 2 games of the series, that's where Denver got in trouble because Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Jaden McDaniels were just hounding Murray up and down the floor and forced him into a 4 of 18 shooting night. And so I thought that was a little bit weird, but the Timberwolves did start auto-doubling basically every time Jokic got the ball. And yes, it's folly to try and double Jokic, but you have to try something. He's unsolvable, so you have to take the least of the bad options, I guess. And the Timberwolves bet paid off. They guarded Jamal Murray well. Michael Porter Jr. continues to struggle shooting the ball. 1 of 6 from 3 tonight. Aaron Gordon was only 2 of 4. The problem is if Aaron Gordon is going to be the Nuggets' second best player, they are in trouble. With the way the Wolves guarded tonight, they needed Jamal Murray to step up. And I thought Jamal Murray just played right into the Timberwolves' hands. They made him play in a crowd, and they had Jamal Murray bring the ball up a lot more often than compared to the last 3 games, and the Timberwolves were just eating. And Gobert was also fantastic defensively, once again, roaming off of Aaron Gordon. I also love that the Timberwolves completely shut the water off on the Denver Nuggets after 2 days of Rudy Gobert just being fried alive for not being able to stop one of the 4 or 5 best offensive players of all time. It was really comical. And look, I'm not a Rudy Gobert defender or stan here, but those defensive player of the years are legit. And I think his struggles in the playoffs are a little overstated. I mean, you can go back to those Houston series. I thought he did have a lot of struggles, but now he's being flamed alive for not being able. First, he was being flamed alive for not being able to switch on the perimeter in the playoffs, which you don't want bigs to do all the time. Now he's getting flamed for not being able to stop Jokic. And if you just look at all the shots Jokic was hitting in Game 5, Gobert was right there. I was looking at the highlights recently again because Jokic put on a beautiful masterclass. And Gobert just didn't have anything for him. But tonight, the Timberwolves were connected. Mike Conley coming back really helped buff out the Timberwolves off-ball defense. Nickeil Alexander-Walker was playing fantastic on the defensive end once again and shot 3 of 5 from 3. Naz Reid, even though he didn't make any of his threes, I thought he played a lot better. I thought his offensive process was a lot better. He was taking advantage of the smaller defender, the mismatch. The Timberwolves were finally just clicking and making their threes. They were 15 of 40 from 3, and they dominated the glass 66 to 47. Meanwhile, the Nuggets were 7 of 36 from 3, and they kept taking them. And now we move to Game 7. I'm watching the end of this game right now, and the Nuggets are just straight up walking off the court with that champions look like, okay, we fucked up in this game. Let's go back home for Game 7. Let's take care of business. I don't know what's going to happen in this game. I default to the Nuggets winning. I picked the Nuggets to win this series, but you never know what's going to happen in a Game 7. And the Timberwolves just posted the second largest playoff win while facing elimination in playoff history. This was a gutty response from the Timberwolves. I'm not a fan of the Timberwolves, but I am proud of this team because there was just no way. This team was so good all year, and with the way they looked the first 2 games, there was just no way that their season could end with 4 straight losses. There was just no way that could happen, even though I did say the Timberwolves would lose tonight. But I'm glad they didn't lose tonight because I want to see this team play again. I want to see Anthony Edwards play again. We get to see Anthony Edwards in a big-time Game 7 to go to the conference finals versus the best player in the world. That's going to be fun stuff. I think the Nuggets need to commit to just having Aaron Gordon and Nikola Jokic bringing the ball up the court and using Murray in the half court. Not saying Murray can't dribble it up all the time. Not saying Murray can't dribble the ball up the court at all. I'm just saying I would much rather avoid all the road bumps to try and set up my half-court offense by just having Aaron Gordon and Jokic bring the ball up and then just start doing the two-man game stuff, the split action stuff, the dribble handoff stuff. But this was the Nuggets team of the first 2 games and the first 5 games of that Lakers series. Well, the only 5 games in that Lakers series. They just looked out of sorts offensively, were missing open threes too, and then defensively they were just getting carved up. And I think Mike Conley being back really helped out Anthony Edwards because last game it was basically we are doubling Anthony Edwards come hell or high water every time. And you need some release valves like a Mike Conley to attack a closeout, hit a spot up 3, penetrate and get it to the paint, hit McDaniels on a few corner threes. Cat was 0 of 4, but I liked the threes he got tonight. Kyle Anderson wasn't a complete disaster in this game, but it was only right that this series win 7. It was only right.